Hi there, I hope all is well. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most controversial things within the church and Christian ideology, I guess, in general, and that is modesty. Yikes. I know that this is one of those topics that are really not easy to talk about because many women have very strong opinions on it and why we should or shouldn't follow modesty and stuff like that. But I just want to talk to you today about why I think you should start at least trying to incorporate some modesty into your life. Now, I wanted to talk about the three biggest difficulties when it comes to modesty, which I can completely empathize with women today on. And that is, it is hard to find modest clothing. It is hard to find cute modest clothing. And it is hard to find modest clothing that you feel comfortable in. And not only that, above all that are feminine and cute, instead of looking like your grandma from the 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever. I know a lot of girls are trying to incorporate modern looks and styles within modesty, and I think that's great, so that you can still feel like you're a part of the times instead of going backwards. But I wanted to talk about why we should dress modest. One of my favorite Bible verses is 1 Corinthians 6:19, and it says, "Don't you know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, who lives in you and who was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourselves, but to God. He bought you for a price. So use your bodies for God's glory." Great verse, right? It's really talking to us about how we are supposed to use our bodies as a temple of God. And my friend last night reminded me, we are temples of the Holy Spirit, right? And so because of that, we want to show that. So if you were to take a church or a temple and you see that it's really run down and it's not looking great, right? We can all assume that, it's not being taken care of. And likewise with our bodies. We want to be able to show that our clothing is a great representation of who we are as a person. Because whether you like it or not, and here's the sad truth, as women, we are going to be judged for what we wear and how we look all the time. You'll see even today with many feminist groups and stuff like that, they still tear down other women for what they wear and what they look like, even though they're promoting body positivity and things like that. So it doesn't matter what side of modesty you're on, whether you like it or not, the truth is that your appearance is always going to be judged. How you dress yourself is going to say a lot about what type of woman you are in society, right? When you look down the street, if there was a man in rags or in really torn out clothing and dirty hair, dirty face, not groomed, not taken care of really, and then you see the businessman with a nice tie, very groomed, very well kept, and they both ask for help or they both ask you for something, I'm pretty sure 95% of us are going to go for the businessman and see if we can help him. Because the appearance that we put out into the world says a lot about us. And my question is, why wouldn't we want to show ourselves in the most classy and the most elegant and sophisticated way? That's what I started doing. So I'm going to be honest, I fell into immodest clothing at some point, and I'd still struggle. I think this is, in the modern times, it's going to be a struggle for all young Christian women, because it is what it is, but we just have to keep persevering and reminding ourselves why we are dressing the way we are. I highly recommend that you dress elegantly and sophisticatedly. And now, if you're thinking about, for me, I'm going to be honest, this is a real channel, so I want to be real. If you're worried about guys not wanting you now, since you're not as sexually desirable as the woman who's wearing practically nothing, I want you to know that real men are attracted to very classy ladies. Real men really like a woman instead of really girly things. And I also recommend that you don't go for guys who are looking for that kind of thing in a girl, because if you're looking to guys who are just wanting kind of sex out of a girl's appearance, why would you want to do that? Wouldn't you want to be crowned for your intelligence, for your kindness, for your nurturing abilities, for your motherly instincts and things like that, instead of what you have to offer the world through your appearance, I ask you why you want to wear immodest clothing. And many women today say it's liberating, and it has nothing to do with men's opinion on it. But then at the same time, they know that that kind of clothing is going to attract men, and they'll get that unwanted attention. It's very weird if you think about it. Like they keep saying and they keep telling girls like, I'm the feminist movement and I don't want to be sexualized for my body, and yet they're on the forefront of wearing like the skimpiest things ever, which doesn't make any sense. And then they get mad when men look at it, and I'm like, well, we know the formula. We know the formula. If you wear something that's very revealing, it's going to attract men's attention. It's very difficult, and I completely understand that. And if you're in college right now, I know that, you know, like the college environment and even the high school environment is not the greatest for wearing things that you probably want to wear but are just too scared of. So here's the challenge I have for you. Go 3 days wearing modest but cute outfits that you would feel really good in. I'm not even kidding. Ever since I started dressing modestly, I have felt more beautiful, because now I know that like men and just everybody around me are looking at me as, you know, like a classy, sophisticated, put together girl, and almost as a woman, if you will, because I'm not dressing really like a young girl. I know that, I'm only 19 and I know I'm dressing a little older than how I look, and also you'll get really good attention. Because like I said, whether you like it or not, as a woman you're going to get attention. So what kind of attention do you want? And in order to get the kind of attention that you want, you have to wear the things that you think are going to attract the good attention that you deserve. Not only that you want, but that you deserve. And I don't even really like that feeling of being ogled at, right? You're more than that. It's not very good for us. And I also don't think, like, at what point is liberation gonna affect young people? Like, if you had a daughter who was maybe 10 years old and she wanted to wear like booty shorts and a crop top, like, would you support that? If you would, I would wonder your like capabilities of being like a good parent. I know it's a tough topic, and I know it's not very fun and it's not easy, and I'm probably going to mess up in terms of modesty again at some point in my life. I hope I don't, but it's a constant battle, and it's a constant state of trying to remind yourself of your worth outside of your sexual capabilities, if you will. I feel really bad for young women today, because they're either being told that they should liberate themselves and wear as little as possible, but then they don't really feel proud, I don't think. At least from what I'm seeing, I think it's just more of a way to show the world what your body looks like, even though they know that that's going to get attention whether they like it or not, instead of wearing things that would really represent who you are as a person, right? What I'm noticing is that when you wear something that's maybe not so modest, you're telling the world pretty much only that you are giving away sex and promiscuity, if you will. And then if you're wearing something a little more modest, you're telling the world, I treasure my body and I don't feel like I need to put it on display in order for it to be accepted and for it to be validated. I want my, again, like I'm saying, my kindness and my intelligence and my sweetness and my femininity to show through, instead of just my physical appearance. That's my take on modesty. Let me talk about some of my favorite stores that I love to buy things from, so that maybe you can have an idea. The majority of my dresses and things like that, from what you've seen from the past couple videos, they were all I think under $30. So I think the majority of them were $20. Some were I think like $25, $30. But the majority of the dresses that I get are super cheap. All of them are pretty much from Nordstrom Rack. And then some I get at Marshall's, okay? So those are the two for people on a budget. Now, if you wanted to get like maybe some nicer dresses or nicer clothing, I recommend Nordstrom, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Vineyard Vines has some really cute dresses for the summer. Tommy Bahama's. I actually got a lot of things from Costco too, some really classy tops and stuff like that. You just have to be on the lookout for them, but I always looked for Tommy Hilfiger at Costco. Every time they have like the new season, I always like to get their like polo tees. It's really cute and just it goes well with a lot of things. Also Target has some great things that you could get. I don't know if Target's really on a budget. I think they're kind of like above the budget a bit, I think, compared to like Marshall's and stuff like that. But you really don't have to buy like super expensive things, you know, to look nice. And I really believe in that. Sometimes I'll go to Ross, sometimes I'll go to TJ Maxx and stuff like that, and honestly sometimes I find better things there, better quality, better, like cuter all around. I think because it's, you know, they know the majority of people are going to be shopping there instead of like the super rich or whatever. So they know to make it practical and to really fit in with what consumers are demanding. So I really recommend those stores. Good luck. If you have any suggestions, ideas that you want to bounce off with me in terms of Modesty, I'd love to talk with you. Let me know. I'm always open to hearing other women's opinions or just anybody's opinions in general. So I hope you took away something from this video. I'm sorry if this like brought you down. I really did not mean to do that. I hope it really uplifted you, because now that you like show the world what kind of woman you are through classy and really sophisticated clothing, you'll get a lot better attention, I promise. I hope you have a blessed day. I'm praying for you. God bless. Bye.